Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a very unique and special Wednesday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Sports Talk Matt. Every morning we're here audio-wise for BettingPros, video on the YouTube where you were looking at a very different shot, and I may sound a little different. I'm here in LA for the Super Bowl, and I will be on Radio Row coming up tomorrow. BetMGM is always the sponsor of this podcast, and the $10 offer to win $150 is still up right now. You can use it for the Super Bowl, use it for tonight. If you any game you want, bet $10. New accounts using that promo code JUICE150 when you sign up for a new account with BetMGM. They are here every morning. I'm here every morning. And wow, this is going to be a wild and really fun week. So LA is hopping. I made it down yesterday outside of the crypto.com center watching the Lakers and the Bucks play. It was a blowout until it wasn't, and the Bucks stopped scoring, and the Lakers almost came back and won that game. So that was fun to be down there. And now we get really cracking tomorrow morning. First thing, we head on down to the LA Convention Center for Radio Row. I cannot wait to get down there. It's been a big bucket list item for me. And now I finally get to do it coming up tomorrow. So I'm super excited. So I got to get to bed here. But last night was a good night. We went 2-0. I told you about Arkansas and that court storm. We get that big win for Arkansas in overtime over Auburn. Got nervous when that game went to overtime. I'm not going to lie. I was listening to it on the radio as I was driving in. I was like, man alive, are we going to go to overtime and lose the wager? But we got there with Arkansas +2, and then we get the Celtics on a walk against the Nets, man. What a bad Nets team. They are horrific right now. Celtics were up 28-2 at one point in that game. Ridiculous. And at one point, after 5 minutes, the Nets had more timeouts called than points scored in that game. That's an unbelievable stat. So that's what happened last night between Brooklyn and the Boston Celtics. So 2-0, always good to end up with a little 0.9 or 0.9 plus type of victory on the night, up 1 unit, if you will, on a 2-0 night. Okay, so I've got 2 more bets to give you guys coming up, and our Omaha Steaks prop of the day, which I'm going to give you guys right now after I tell you about our friends, though, with Omaha Steaks. You guys have already been showing me screenshots of using the juice code, okay? This is very fun and simple. Omaha, by the way, Creighton gets a big victory. The UConn Creighton moneyline parlay that I talked about last night did hit. So if you bet that, that hit. So Creighton came back. Didn't cover like I thought. I didn't like the number. I thought Bet Butler was the better play at +7.5. Butler did come in and cover that, but the Creighton Blue Jays here get a big victory at home. Omaha Steaks prop of the day coming up here in just 1 second. But juice is the code you want to use when you go to omahasteaks.com. Enter in juice into the search bar and go and order the Omaha Steaks sampler. Now, what's really cool, you guys have already been doing this. You've been sending me screenshots saying, hey, I bought this. I'm doing it. That's awesome. You're going to save over 50% when you do this on the Omaha Steak sampler. Plus, you're going to get 12 free Omaha Steak burgers for free with your order. This package has it all. It's awesome. I'm a big filet guy, always have been a big filet guy, so this is really an unbelievable price for you to jump in here and getting fillets and caramel apple tarts for dessert, which is awesome. Every order is backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, delivered right to your door. You're going to omahasteaks.com, promo code JUICE in that search bar, and then go and order the Omaha Steak sampler. You got a touchdown game day package as well if you want to jump in with that, so you can go after that. All your game day needs if you want. Omaha Steaks has been the leader in gourmet steaks and food since 1917. There's not really a shock by that, to be quite honest, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is doing this, coming close to matching the flavor, the tenderness, and the value of Omaha Steaks. Juice is that promo code, omahasteaks.com. Juice is a promo code. This is how we keep ourselves going here with this podcast when you guys support this. If you love cooking, if you love grilling, if you love getting ready for the big game, this is how you do it. omahasteaks.com, juice in the search bar, and go and order the Omaha Steaks sampler or anything else that your heart may desire off omahasteaks.com with that keyword juice in the search bar so we can always track it. All right, so here's where we're going today. Golden State Warriors have won 9 consecutive games, 9 straight. They are on the road at Utah. They do have Donovan Mitchell back. Since they've gotten Mitchell back, they have defeated the Knicks by 9 and Brooklyn by 23. But why are the Jazz favored by 3 points tonight? In fact, some books are at 3.5, but DraftKings is at +3. What's going on here? Utah shouldn't be this big of a favorite. This number is too heavy. The Warriors have won 9 straight basketball games, okay? As long as everybody plays, and by all accounts they will, because, well, nobody played. The Warriors didn't play last night. Why isn't this like a pick? This is a +3 I'm getting with the Warriors, a team that's won 9 straight games. I know they didn't cover their last 2 against Oklahoma City and against Sacramento. I don't think it matters. You may get 3.5. You may get more. I don't know. That number is too big for me. I like the Warriors. Give me the Warriors at +3. I'm taking the Warriors here tonight on the road at Utah. And in college basketball, Ole Miss is at home catching 5.5 points up against Alabama. Did you guys know that Alabama is 1-9 in the SEC against the spread? 1-9. This team has lost to Georgia on the road outright. This team is, well, they've got 3 very good wins: Baylor, Houston, and Gonzaga. But they've lost to Davidson at home. Like, this team is such a Jekyll and Hyde. How are they 5.5 point favorites to anybody, frankly, in my mind? I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm taking the home dog, like Arkansas last night. Give me a home dog. I mean, this Ole Miss team is 5-5 against the spread at home. I like Ole Miss to keep this game close. Alabama's going to have a bit of a dogfight on their hands, in my opinion, here. And if their threes aren't falling, don't like it. Ole Miss +5.5 for 0.5 unit. Golden State +3 on the road at Utah for 0.5 unit. And then we come to our Omaha Steaks prop of the day. Super Bowl prop of the day. Okay, now, I was looking down at the Westgate. I was looking over the packet, and I noticed something. In the packet, they had a score in the first 3.5 minutes, a score in the first 4.5 minutes, a score in the first 5.5 minutes, and a score in the first 7.5 minutes. And I was like, wonder why that is. Started looking around, started doing some research. Then later the next day, it came out with a score in the first 6.5 minutes at +105. 3.5 was heavily, big plus money, like +400. Then it was 4.5, came down to about +200. 5.5 came down to somewhere around, +140. And then 6.5 minutes came out at +102. 7.5 is -140 for a score. The last 2 Super Bowls, we got a field goal in the 6th minute of the game. I think you could see an opening score here, an opening drive resulting in a field goal, maybe a touchdown. But all we need are points to be scored in the first 6.5 minutes, and I get +105 on that. So it could be tight, but the possibility of one team getting the ball, maybe going 3 and out, punting, team goes down, kicks a field goal. Or opening drive, it's always scripted, right? Team that gets the ball first, scripted, goes down, kicks a points. If we like the over, which I'm leaning towards the over, but if we like that, a score in the first 6.5 minutes, I think it's a decent bet here. For my Omaha Steaks prop of the day in the Super Bowl at +105, I'm going to go yes to a score in the first 6.5 minutes of this game. Like I said, last 2 Super Bowls, we've had a field goal in the 6th minute. I think we could very easily see another one here where we either get a touchdown drive or a field goal drive here where someone gets the ball, goes down the field, gets points early in this game. 7.5 is -140, like I mentioned. So 6.5 at even money. I think there's value there. I think it's a good bet to go 0.5 unit with the over. With a score in the first 6.5 minutes of the Super Bowl for our Omaha Steaks prop of the day. +105 is what I got coming up on that. All right, there's our prop score in the first 6.5 minutes. We're going Bama and Ole Miss. Ole Miss +5.5. Golden State at Utah, taking Golden State +3. Those are the 3 bets for us. Quarter unit on the prop, half a unit on the other 2 bets. My name is Matt Perrault. Every single morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by BetMGM.